y'all, I'm Janae and welcome back to Make Room. This series is all about helping you see your home differently and creating spaces that truly work for your life. We're still in our See It Differently phase. It's where we're talking about design mindset, and I really want to help you figure out your design style. No, we're not going to take a quiz. I'm not talking about your Pinterest mood board. This is all about you. Style always starts with self-awareness, not labels. When we first began having our discovery calls with clients, we used to ask them, tell me about your design style. And honestly, they didn't really know what to say. Either the language was really confusing or just wasn't clear on what they were describing and what that really meant. And honestly, most people have a mix of one or two. We might get into it and then we realize, okay, they like the lighting in industrial, but they really like that light and bright feeling of Scandi, but they're also drawn to like concrete materials, and maybe that's wabi-sabi or Japandi. Either way, it's typically a mix, and for most people, that's quite normal. So what we emphasize with them and what I want to share with you is asking the question, how do you want to feel in the space? That is always the first spot. Do you want it to be moody? Do you want it to be light and bright and airy, playful, calm? Figuring out the feeling that you want is going to be your first step to figuring out your design style. Next, I want you to consider your real life inspiration, starting off with your wardrobe. What are you already wearing? What are you drawn to? Do you like really bright colors? Do you like patterns, polka dots, stripes, or are you into neutrals like black, white, creams? Think about the colors that you're already wearing on a day-to-day basis that feel like you, that you're comfortable with, and that may be the next piece to figuring out your design style. Third, I want you to think about when you travel. Are you drawn to a certain type of hotel brand, a certain type of Airbnb, a vacation home? What elements within that space are you really enjoying? When you're there, you're like, okay, this is my vibe. I would love to have this in my space. It doesn't mean that every single element you're gonna bring in right away, but go ahead and start taking note of those things that make you feel like this is me. What about it am I drawn to? Next, I want you to think about restaurants. Restaurants are a place where we can go a little bold, a little more chaotic. We can get into some really funky tiles and things of that nature. And again, it's a really great spot to consider, what elements do I really like from this place? Is it the lighting? Is it the fact that they have plants everywhere? Do they have some really cool tile in their bathroom? Are there any pieces from the place that you're staying at or the place where you're getting some food that you're like, you know what? I could really see this in my home. Once you start looking at these patterns through your lifestyle, your wardrobe, where you're going, places that just feel good to you, you're gonna figure out that maybe it's not about labels, but these are actually clues to some of the design aesthetics that you're really into. Another important thing that I want to emphasize is that style evolves. Whenever you get so tapped into labels, let's say boho, and that's all you're focused on, then every time you see a piece that comes out that says boho table, boho lighting, you want to grab that piece, and those things may be changing. There's going to be new materials and furniture introduced every single year that are titled boho, and it doesn't mean that you have to grab it just because you've decided that's the label for the style that you're into. Instead, when you focus on the core elements of maybe a handful of different styles, you're not going to be so tempted to purchase every single thing that has that label, but you're going to be looking for maybe one or two key elements within those styles and say, okay, this feels like me. I know that I like this. I'm not worried about the label behind it, but this is going to be the piece that's going to evolve with me, and it's not going to have to be switched out and changed every single season. The next thing I want to add is that your personal style actually comes from editing, not adding. And the reason I say this is because when we're working with our organizing clients, we do have a minimalist approach, and we're often trying to help them get some items out of their space. And when we start looking at little items like vases and themed pillows, or even our larger items like pieces of furniture, we often see that it wasn't something that they really wanted. They just figured that was their style because of the name behind it. And when we work with them to really nail in, okay, what are the elements here that I actually really, really like? What is the staple piece that I definitely want to hold on to, and these other pieces that I can get rid of? It's in that editing process that we figure out what's the most value to them, what feels most like them, and what are those pieces that we need to keep. So I'd encourage you to take an assessment of the pieces already in your home, whether it's something that you bought 5 years ago or something that you bought just 5 months ago. Take an assessment and say, okay, what do I really love about these things? Last and not least, you need to decide what you don't like. And honestly, that might be the easiest part. I'm sure you've seen something you've been like, no, that is not for me. But knowing what you don't like is going to be so helpful in helping you figure out what you do like. That's all for this video, but remember, I created Make Room to help you see your home differently and to start building up clarity and confidence as you start making some big design decisions. In our next video, we'll be sharing why your home may feel a little off and how we can fix that. And if you want to keep learning right away, make sure you subscribe to our newsletter linked below. That's where we'll share more tips, organizing solutions, and all things going on at Woodson Interiors. Until the next one, bye!